Alright, it's Dr. Ryan here with Straight Up Spine and Posture. Today we're going to discuss some common questions that I'm frequently asked, and one of those questions revolves around chairs. With COVID and people working from home, we've had a lot of people working on really terrible chairs for a long period of time and noticing that suddenly their backs don't feel so good. And so we've had a lot of people interested in buying chairs for their home office and things like that, so I figured this would be a fitting time to discuss chair ergonomics and what you really want if you're purchasing a chair with the effect of minimizing your back pain in mind. So there's some other things to consider, but we're going to discuss back pain in particular in chair design. So most chairs are almost exactly the same, and there's a major problem with this design. This chair we have in the office is over by my adjusting area, and most people who sit on this chair remark sooner or later that it's a pretty comfortable chair. And it does seem pretty comfortable, but I can tell you from personal experience, if you sit in this all day, your back doesn't feel so good. Why is that? Well, one of the reasons for the cause of back pain is the standard design of chairs. So let's talk about this. Basically, in standard chair design, chair designers aim to have your ankle over your knee and your knee at the same level of your hip, and therefore your torso is pretty much straight up in the air. And so the issue with that is that the knee is kind of close to the chest, and if I bring my knees up higher to my chest, my pelvis is going to start to rotate backwards. And then to make this worse, most chairs where they have a nice little kind of divot for your bottom to sit in, what they do is they kind of force the knees close together. And the issue here is that hip sockets do not come straight out of the body. That'd be like trying to squat with your knees in front of you. That'd be a great way to get hurt. So knees are meant to go out, and that's the way the hip sockets are. They go out to the sides. And so these types of chairs restrict that while forcing your knees up. And the issue there is that it causes the pelvic to tilt backwards, and then what do people do? They get those big lumbar supports to wrench and arch into their back, which is not healthy. So then you have the spine wants to go one way and you're trying to force it the other way, and it's all being driven by chair design, so much better to fix the problem than add a second problem to it. That brings us to saddle chairs. So saddle chairs are a great improvement on your standard chair design for a number of reasons. If I sit on this, what you'll notice is that immediately it brings the level of the knee a little bit lower than the hip, so that my pelvis can rock forward into more of a normal neutral position, and that my knees are now spread slightly out to the side, which is the natural articulation of the hip socket. So it gets rid of slight hip impingement, which people, older persons with hip pain, that can really aggravate, or just if you have back pain in general, the hips are really important, so best not to irritate them. And then the spine is in a nice natural arch. It doesn't need one of those stupid spine supports pressing it forward anymore because it's not being forced backwards. So the issue is not the lack of a spinal arch artificially forcing your spine into a position. The issue is your standard chair design, which it doesn't matter if your chair is like a simple piece of plastic like this or if it's a $2,000 chair made out of kangaroo leather. You're going to run into the same issue. So saddle chairs are really easy to find. You can find them on Amazon. I think this one was like 80 bucks. They're great. If you sit for a while, it can be a nice alternative to sitting in your standard chair, just kind of like a sit-stand desk. So food for thought, a lot of questions about that, so I hope that helps you decide on the best ergonomic choice to make for chairs in the future. It can be an important thing for your back. If you have back issues, that's no fun, and this can really help. So check out our YouTube channel for some more videos and stuff like that. We just, I think we got over 50 now, so we got a good selection, and then like or comment, all that good stuff. It helps us out. So have a good one, and we'll be back with more videos in the future.